Welcome to another exciting episode of the day's top cryptocurrency news, videos, in review. If you're looking to save time but stay fully informed on the latest in the crypto world, you're in the right place.
We've got ETF developments, Blackrock's buying spree, potential political moves, and eye-popping market predictions.
From Bitcoin's wild price fluctuations to Ethereum's blockbuster ETF launch, these updates are too crucial to miss.
Will Bitcoin surge to eye-watering new heights or face unforeseen challenges? Stick with us to get expert insights and predictions.
And remember, if you want to stay ahead in crypto, like and subscribe to support the channel.
Don't miss the outro, where we'll break down the major areas of agreement and disagreement among the experts.
Ivan on Tech unveils why the latest Ethereum ETF launch might redefine the market. Altcoin Daily explores Donald Trump's rumored big Bitcoin move and its potential impact. Crypto Banter's Rand Neuner predicts explosive growth for altcoins before the next election. George Tung of CryptosRUs dives into Blackrock's massive Bitcoin buying spree. Lark Davis talks about the imminent launch of Ethereum ETFs and their market implications. Carl Runefelt breaks down why Bitcoin is currently falling but forecasts long-term gains. Coin Bureau discusses BRICS nation's game-changing new currency system. Benjamin Cowen analyzes Bitcoin's risk metrics to predict future market movements. Welcome to another episode of Ivan on Tech. Today's headline: Bitcoin, shocking turn of events. Didn't expect this. We promise you, it's going to be a roller coaster.
Absolutely. Ivan dives deep into the latest developments in the crypto world, including the launch of the Ethereum ETF and the unexpected market reactions.
So what's the main buzz in today's video? What's Ivan's core argument?
The thesis is simple but significant. The Ethereum ETF launch is a game changer for the market. Despite the initial 1% dip in prices, the long-term impact will be monumental as the market adjusts.
Let's break down the key points. First off, what happened with this market reaction?
Interestingly, the market dipped slightly despite the ETF launch. Many expected it to surge instantly, but this kind of reaction is reminiscent of the Bitcoin ETF's initial rollout. Patience is the name of the game here.
Next, the Ethereum ETF. Why is it such a big deal?
This is the first ever altcoin ETF. Historically, the Bitcoin ETF announcement led to market volatility initially, but eventually paved the way for massive gains. We could see the same pattern with Ethereum.
What's going on with Blackrock and its involvement?
Blackrock is on a buying spree, accumulating Bitcoin worth $523 million. This is unprecedented and indicates strong institutional interest. Imagine even a portion of that going into Ethereum.
Ivan also talked about some market analysis. Care to elaborate?
Yes, Ivan and Kevin Sensen discussed the technical charts. According to their analysis, Bitcoin needs just one more impulse move to hit the 100K mark. It's an inch-by-inch game now.
Fascinating stuff. How about Bitcoin becoming a reserve currency for the U.S.?
Ivan argues that it's entirely possible as the U.S. grapples with its debt crisis. Currently, 76% of all income tax collected goes towards paying interest alone. Bitcoin could offer a new financial paradigm.
Wow, those are some hefty claims. And he also had something to say about the media, right?
Right. Ivan called out the mainstream media for years of misinformation against crypto. He stressed the importance of independent media for accurate crypto news. It's a stark reminder to be critical of our news sources.
All right, now for the juicy part. Predictions. What's Ivan seeing in his crystal ball?
First up, he confidently predicts that Bitcoin will hit 100K, backed by solid technical charts.
And for the Ethereum ETF?
He's predict that significant inflows will soon follow the ETF launch, driving up Ethereum prices in the near future.
Lastly, any bold predictions on the macro level?
Indeed. In light of America's escalating debt crisis, Ivan suggests that Bitcoin could become a reserve currency. This would signify a revolutionary shift in the financial world.
All right, let's wrap this up. What are the major takeaways?
Ivan emphasizes that the market's current dip is temporary. Both Bitcoin and Ethereum are poised for substantial growth as ETF impacts unfold. He also highlighted the critical need to challenge mainstream media narratives and listen to independent voices.
Strong points. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button. Welcome back to Altcoin Daily, folks. Today we've got some explosive news that could send the crypto market into overdrive. Bitcoin's been on a tear recently, up 25% in 2 weeks, and it's touching on $68,000. Can you believe it? All this while former President Donald Trump eyes Bitcoin for a potential U.S. strategy. Buckle up.
Absolutely, it's like crypto Christmas came early this year. Trump, of all people, might have a big Bitcoin announcement at the Bitcoin NA conference this week. Is Bitcoin about to become America's new BFF?
So, what's the big idea? Why should Bitcoiners be so excited?
Well, the buzz is that Trump could suggest making Bitcoin a reserve currency for the U.S. This isn't official yet, but it would be a game changer. Think about it. The U.S. Treasury holding Bitcoin. Mind-blowing.
All right, let's break it down. What's Trump cooking up with Bitcoin?
Firstly, Trump's considering the Department of Justice's Bitcoin stash, 200,000 units worth about $13 billion, as a potential reserve for the Treasury. If the U.S. stops selling Bitcoin randomly and becomes a long-term holder, prices could zoom skyward.
And what's with all these meetings with Bitcoin miners?
Trump's been doing his homework, meeting Bitcoin miners and getting a crash course on blockchain. He wants to iron out those pesky regulations that have been a roadblock, thanks to folks like Gary Gensler.
Interesting. And he wants all Bitcoin mined in the U.S.?
Yeah, that's the pitch. While it's impossible to mine all Bitcoin here, mining follows cheap energy worldwide. Even boosting U.S. mining could be a win for local innovation. It's a classic Make America Great Again move.
Okay, crystal ball time. What's the forecast?
If Trump's policies make mining cheaper and the U.S. goes all in on Bitcoin, we could see prices rocket. Lower energy costs for miners mean they can hold more Bitcoin, reducing supply and pushing prices up.
And what about those Ethereum ETFs? They're making waves too, right?
Definitely. Ethereum just broke $3,500, and its ETFs are nearing approval. Even if they capture just 30% of Bitcoin's ETF inflows, that's a massive success. And with Ethereum's broader use cases, who knows? It might even surpass Bitcoin ETFs.
And the political angle? Any curveballs?
Kamala Harris could be the Democratic frontrunner for 2024, and there's a huge opportunity for her to win the crypto vote if she goes pro-crypto. This would force Republicans, especially Trump, to up their game. Crypto shouldn't be a partisan issue. Everyone stands to gain.
All right, wrapping up. What's the bottom line?
If Trump's Bitcoin strategy materializes and Ethereum ETFs get approved, we're looking at a potentially explosive growth for both Bitcoin and Ethereum. Plus, the political landscape around crypto regulations could dramatically shift, making now an exciting time to be in the crypto space.
That's it for today, folks. Keep those notifications on because the crypto world never sleeps. See you next time. Welcome back to Crypto Banter. Today we've got a firecracker of an episode packed with events that could skyrocket your crypto portfolio. Our very own Ran Neuner is here to break it all down for us. Fasten your seatbelts.
Absolutely. It's a massive week for crypto with ETH ETFs launching, political shakeups, and mouth-watering altcoin picks. If you've ever wondered what it feels like to be a kid in a candy store, this is it in crypto terms.
Let's cut to the chase. What's the core thesis Rand's bringing to the table today?
The essence is that a string of significant events could fundamentally alter the crypto market. From ETH ETFs making their debut to political wildcards in the US, there are juicy opportunities if you play your cards right.
Awesome. Let's talk about the big economic and political shifts Rand mentioned. What are we looking at?
Where to start? For one, ETH ETFs are hitting the market. Rand's got tips on how to trade around these ETFs. And then there's huge news. Bitcoin leaped past $68,000 following Joe Biden's surprise exit from the presidential race.
Wow, Biden out of the race. Didn't see that coming. How did the markets react?
There was initial volatility, especially with Kamala Harris being endorsed as the new Democratic candidate. Bitcoin saw dips and then recovery as the market priced in Trump's potential win against Harris.
Trump and Bitcoin, huh? Seems like an interesting mix. What are Rand's predictions on where Bitcoin might be headed?
Rand's got the crystal ball out. He's looking at Bitcoin potentially hitting a new all-time high in the next 30 to 60 days, maybe even soaring to $150,000 by year's end if Trump makes bullish announcements at the upcoming Bitcoin event.
That's a bold prediction. What about altcoins? Any hot tips there?
Indeed, Solana's on fire with incredible adoption metrics. Meme coins like Popcat, WB, and Bank are bouncing back big time. Ran also gave a nod to Injective and Zclink as ones to keep an eye on.
All right, let's dig into those predictions. What's Rand forecasting for Bitcoin's future?
He's optimistic. If Trump announces something huge regarding Bitcoin at the Nashville event, we might see Bitcoin shattering its previous records and even touching $150,000 by year-end.
And politically, any twists we should look out for?
Rand speculates that Kamala Harris might not be the final Democratic candidate, hinting that future political shifts could present new market dynamics for Bitcoin and the broader crypto space.
Summing it all up, what are the essential takeaways?
Stay alert and strategize. Rand emphasizes watching Solana, Bitcoin, and key altcoins closely. With political and market winds shifting, there's serious potential for significant portfolio gains.
Welcome to CryptosRUs, everyone. Today's episode is sizzling hot with some major Bitcoin news. George Tung shares insights on Blackrock's monumental Bitcoin buying spree and what it means for the future of crypto. Buckle up.
Oh, absolutely. George has been on point with his analysis. This Blackrock move isn't just a dip, it's a cannonball splash into the Bitcoin pool. Let's dive into the juicy details.
So, what's the big picture George is painting here? What's Blackrock up to in the world of Bitcoin?
Blackrock is going all in on Bitcoin. George explains that with their massive inflows into Bitcoin ETFs, the stage is set for some major upward momentum. BlackRock's actions signal strong institutional interest, which could be a game changer for Bitcoin's value.
All right, let's break down the key points. How's Bitcoin performing these days?
Bitcoin is comfortably around $67,000 and eyeing $70,000. It's not just sitting there looking pretty, it's gaining strength from major endorsements. Elon Musk, for instance, has laser eyes on his profile picture. Talk about a bullish signal.
And BlackRock's role? What's the scoop there?
BlackRock's ETF saw a staggering inflow of $524 million in one day. George asserts that the overall inflow could soon reach $1 billion. That's a huge endorsement, waking up the big players in a big way.
What about inflation and fiat currency? How does that play into all this?
Fiat currencies like the dollar are weakening, making Bitcoin's fixed supply a refuge. George emphasizes that this devaluation of fiat is why Bitcoin's value keeps climbing. It's rock steady in a stormy sea of fiat currencies.
Rumor has it, there are potential bombshell announcements coming up. What's the buzz?
That's right. Elon Musk and even Donald Trump might drop some Bitcoin-related bombshells at the Bitcoin conference. Whether it's accepting Bitcoin for Teslas again or adding Bitcoin to strategic reserves, the air is thick with possibilities.
So, what does George predict for the near future?
Bitcoin breaking $70,000 is just the start. George sees all-time highs on the horizon by the time the Bitcoin coin conference kicks off.
What about Ethereum and other altcoins?
Ethereum spot ETFs are set to launch, which could give ETH a substantial boost. George also notes that Solana might be the next big contender for ETF approval.
Long-term predictions.
Institutional inflows could ramp up dramatically, with daily amounts reaching $1 billion, $2 billion, or even $3 billion as Bitcoin marches past $100,000.
To wrap it up, what should the audience take away from George's insights?
George's advice is clear. Get into Bitcoin now while it's still accessible. Institutional money is flowing in and fiat currencies are weakening. Load up on Bitcoin before it becomes too pricey or too dominated by institutional giants.
Welcome back to the Lark Davis YouTube channel. Today we have groundbreaking news. Ethereum ETFs launching in mere hours. What could this mean for Ethereum's future? Let's break it down.
Absolutely. This is a huge milestone for Ethereum, potentially bringing billions in from Wall Street. Buckle up because it's going to be an electrifying discussion.
So, what's the core thesis of Lark's latest video?
The crux of the video is that Ethereum's ETFs are launching, which is massive news. This move could bring in billions from institutional investors, fundamentally changing the landscape for Ethereum.
All right, let's break down the key points brought up by Lark. First, what's the buzz around the Ethereum ETFs launching?
Ethereum spot ETFs are launching at 9:30 a.m., making it significantly easier for institutional investors to inject funds into Ethereum without actually holding the asset themselves.
That sounds huge. But what about the current market sentiment?
Interestingly, Ethereum's price hasn't skyrocketed yet. Lark draws parallels with Bitcoin's ETF launch, which eventually saw massive gains despite some initial hiccups.
So, Wall Street money's incoming. What kind of impact could this have?
It's massive. Institutional money could flood into Ethereum, boosting stablecoins, Layer 2 solutions, and other DeFi offerings. Plus, 1/3 of Ethereum is staked, making it potentially very lucrative.
But it's not all rainbows and unicorns. What are the challenges?
True. Grayscale's high fees could lead to some initial sell-off pressure. But Lark believes new inflows will offset this over the long term. It's like having the hiccups. Initially annoying, but they'll pass.
Let's look into Lark's crystal ball. What are his predictions?
Lark predicts some initial volatility, potentially a dip before gains. Drawing from Bitcoin's history, Ethereum could see a price target as high as $5,400 in the coming months.
And what about long-term predictions?
Using Fibonacci levels, Lark sees the potential for Ethereum to reach up to $15,000 if all goes well. Imagine that, Ethereum on the moon.
Wrapping it up, what are the big takeaways from this epic episode?
Lark's overall outlook is extremely bullish. He suggests staying informed about institutional inflows and being ready for price movements. Watch the market closely because opportunities will arise.
Welcome back to the Moon on YouTube. Today's sizzling topic, why is Bitcoin taking a nosedive, and what can we expect next? Joining us as always is the fearless Carl Runefelt with some spicy insights and predictions.
Oh, you bet. Carl dives deep into some charts and gives us the lowdown, not just on short-term trends, but also mind-blowing long-term projections. Hold on to your seats.
So what's the big idea Carl is pushing in this episode? What's driving Bitcoin's current dip?
Carl believes it's a mix of completing the CME gap and the possible selling pressure from Mt. Gox. But that's just the appetizer. He's still super bullish about Bitcoin's future over the next year and a half.
Let's break down the main points. What's happening with Bitcoin's current levels?
Sure thing. Bitcoin's seesawing between critical levels, 71.5 resistance and 60.9 support. There's also an important level at 63.4 that has acted as both support and resistance in the past.
And the short-term price action.
Here's the scoop. Carl expects Bitcoin to roll back to fill the CME gap at 58.8. Plus, Mt. Gox might dump 42.5 thousand Bitcoin, potentially adding more pressure.
Got it. Now what about the long-term outlook?
Carl is all in on Bitcoin's long-term potential. He's predicting prices will skyrocket to $200,000, $300,000, maybe even $500,000. Talk about bullish.
That's wild. So what's Carl's investment strategy during this roller coaster?
Buy low, hold tight. Carl suggests accumulating Bitcoin during these dips, stashing it away, and waiting for the surge. He's even got some links to those crypto exchanges if you're ready to dive in.
All right, crystal ball time. What does Carl predict?
First up, Carl sees a short-term dip to fill that CME gap and due to the potential selling from Mt. Gox. But he's super optimistic that after this hiccup, Bitcoin's price will blast off, driven by historical halving trends.
So wrapping this up, what are the main takeaways?
Despite some near-term bearish factors, Carl is laser-focused on the long-term bullish outlook. He urges viewers to buy Bitcoin during these dips and hold on for those juicy long-term gains. It's a strategy of patience and precision.
Welcome to Coin Bureau's summary video. Today, we're diving into a groundbreaking topic that's been making waves in the financial world. Hold on to your hats, folks. We're talking about BRICS and their new payment system, mBridge.
Oh, this one's a game changer. We're talking real-life monopoly, but way bigger stakes. The BRICS nations have launched something that could truly rock the US dollar to its core.
So what's the core thesis here? What's got everyone sitting up and taking notice?
The crux of the video is that BRICS nations have introduced mBridge, a new payment system that could potentially dethrone the US dollar as the world's primary currency for international trade. This is no small feat.
Let's break that down a bit, starting with some misconceptions about the petrodollar.
Yeah, there were rumors flying around that the US-Saudi deal on pricing oil in dollars was toast. Spoiler alert, totally fake news.
All right, now on to the BRICS payment system. What's the big deal about mBridge?
For starters, it's built on Ethereum and operates as a CBDC system mainly for institutions, aimed at sidestepping the traditional SWIFT network. In short, it allows direct currency swaps, lowering USD demand.
Interesting. And what's the difference between this payment system and a potential BRICS currency?
Good question. A BRICS currency would be an actual new currency. mBridge, on the other hand, is a system that lets existing currencies be traded without going through the usual US-centric channels.
All right, let's get to the juicy part. Predictions. What's in store for the future?
The video suggests that BRICS countries could gain massive geopolitical leverage by effectively bypassing the US dollar. Over time, this system could be the foundation for a future BRICS currency, possibly backed by a mix of commodities.
Wow, that's quite the ripple effect. So wrapping it up, what are the big takeaways?
The launch of mBridge is a monumental shift that could redefine global finance. It's still early days, but keep your eyes peeled. This could be the start of the end for the US dollar's dominance. The name of the game is Watch This Space.
Welcome back to the latest episode of Benjamin Cowen's Cryptoverse. Today we're diving deep into the world of Bitcoin through the lens of a risk metric that Benjamin Cowen himself has meticulously developed. Discussions about Bitcoin's unpredictability, historical trends, and smart trading strategies make this a must-watch for crypto enthusiasts.
That's right. Benjamin is a pro in the crypto analysis world, and today he's walking us through how a robust risk metric can make sense of Bitcoin's wild market. Hang on to your hats, folks.
All right, let's get to the heart of today's discussion. What's the main thesis of Benjamin's latest video?
The core idea is that using a detailed risk metric can help traders navigate Bitcoin's notorious volatility. By normalizing Bitcoin's historical behavior between 0 and 1, traders can more effectively time their buys and sells, hedging against market unpredictability.
Fascinating. Let's dig into some of the key points Benjamin makes about this risk metric and market behavior.
First up, he addresses market unpredictability. Cowen emphasizes that trying to predict market movements is incredibly tough, even for the veterans. His solution? Lean on risk levels as a smarter approach.
Definitely sounds like a sound approach. How does this risk metric work?
Great question. The metric normalizes Bitcoin's history between 0, indicating low risk, and 1, indicating high risk. Blue zones are low-risk areas, while red ones are where things get dicey. It's a visual aid to help you make informed decisions.
And he has a historical trend analysis too, right?
Correct. Historically, Bitcoin reaching the 7 to 8 risk range often signals a significant market drop within the next year. Comparing this data to past cycles provides valuable insights into possible future movements.
All right, so what about his personal trading strategy? Any insider tips?
Benjamin has mostly stuck with Bitcoin this time around, avoiding the tempting but risky altcoins until monetary policy conditions change. This conservative approach has kept him secure and likely more sane, given the current market volatility.
Time to look into the crystal ball. What are Benjamin's predictions?
For one, he anticipates another market drop before we see any significant rise, much like the 2019 scenario when Bitcoin saw an initial rally followed by a dip. And interestingly, he expects Bitcoin's dominance to keep growing, especially with retail interest still lukewarm and monetary policies remaining strict.
Sounds reasonable. Any long-term strategies he's betting on?
Long-term, he's bullish on Bitcoin's growth, encouraging investors to think in terms of decades, not just quarterly gains. He believes the eventual ease in monetary policy could trigger the next explosive bull market phase.
So what's the big takeaway here?
Benjamin underscores the importance of a strategic and emotion-free approach to trading. By adhering to risk levels and learning from historical trends, traders can navigate the choppy cryptoverse more effectively. His advice: stay informed, stay strategic, and always manage your risk.
Throughout these videos, the major thesis revolves around significant opportunities and challenges in the cryptocurrency market.
Ivan on Tech and Altcoin Daily highlight the transformative potential of Ethereum and Bitcoin ETFs, while Ran Neuner and George Tung emphasize the institutional push led by entities like Blackrock.
Lark Davis and Carl Runefeld dissect the short-term volatility contrasted with long-term bullish projections. Coin Bureau's take on the BRICS nations showcases a potential shift in global financial paradigms.
One consistent theme is the likely positive impact of new ETFs for Bitcoin and Ethereum. However, there are differing views on the immediate timeframe for these effects to manifest.
They all agree on the immense potential of crypto, but differ on political influences and short-term market dips.
Stay tuned to our channel for more in-depth analysis and diverse perspectives.
Thanks for watching the day's top cryptocurrency news videos in review for July 23rd, 2024. If you'd like more time-saving content, please remember to like and subscribe. If you have ideas for more channels you'd like to see summarized, drop a comment below. See you next time.